Good morning, everyone in America. Good afternoon to everyone in the UK. Let's kick this off. I'm hoping that you are seeing me live and in charge. Let's just check what Mr. YouTube is saying. Give myself a wee like there as well. Just give it a second for it to kick in. We are live. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome. So we're going to start looking at the live market open here. First stop I'm looking at is GameStop. This is a stock that we've been covering on the channel before. I trust that you can all see me. If anybody wants to just confirm that, that would be good. Before we start, I'm actually going to get another screen on the go here. Bear with me. Yes, probably should have sorted this out before I went live, but sure. It's all part of it. How's everyone feeling today? We've had some developments on Premier African Minerals, that's for sure. Not so good of a day. Well, actually not the worst of days either. Things could have been a lot worse on Prem. It opened up pretty bad. I will get an actual video out on that, but we are now green. Let's just look at that firstly. We can see here. Wow. 2% green. Who would have thought on the open we did sink nearly 20%, but it's recovered well. A green day after all the craziness. George Roach just came out and said that he will not be taking his money out. Look, I've covered it well in the Discord. We know where we're at. I will get a video out on this, hoping and praying that we'll get a substantial bounce between now and the AGM. A lot of talk, a lot of calls for, well, buyout maybe, but we'll keep that for a video. But we'll keep a close eye on Prem and we'll update that as the day progresses. But that's at least looking reasonably positive compared to the fiasco that it opened up at. Let me just get my screen sorted here. Okay, I'll keep Prem on the screen in case there's any big movements on that. But so I was on FinViz, my favorite website for having a look at how the market's going to open. So we'll bring up the chart. This is obviously yesterday's performance. Not a bad day across the board. Fucking ads. Expecting a decent day today as well. The situation with Trump is obviously making the market react. I think a lot of people are thinking the market's going to be very bullish with a Trump win. Quite possible. Crazy stuff going on though. The shooting and the whole madness. It's actually terrifying, the world that we're living in at the moment, with the stuff that's going on. But here, it is what it is. We can see the European markets. FTSE currently down 0.5%, and the DAX similar. So not the greatest day in Europe at the moment. The US then, we have a green day looking like anyway on the open here, which is about 6 minutes away. So we will see what that happens. The VIX is pretty flat. Gold is up. While we've got 5 minutes, let's have a look at some Bitcoin, shall we? Before we get into looking at how GameStop currently sitting at 3.15 on the pre-market. Covered this stock a while ago. My thoughts have been the same. Just going sideways. We're waiting for a breakout. We can see the Bollinger bands here though. Very tight. Squeezing tight. Tighter they get usually leads to a pop. We can see here what happened the last time it got really tight. It exploded. We've been well gaping over the last while, but it's been getting tighter. This is on the day chart. It's been getting tighter. The averages have started to cool off, which is healthy. That's all happened. And now if you look at even the MACD on a closer one, look at this little thing that's happened. Those that know will know. This is a reversal on the MACD, which means usually potential upside. We can see here when we crossed over where we went. We see when we crossed over where we went. So we're at that point. I fully expect GameStop now to hopefully push on, which will be very interesting. Where could we go? Well, we'll see. Let's just see what way it opens. There's not a lot of manipulation with GameStop, as we know, but I think I may see some people, yeah, you thumbs up, would have been better if Prem went to a penny. Well, I know. After reading the chats about Prem, it taught me not to get emotionally attached to a company. I think that's been the big issue with Prem. A lot of people have been attached emotionally to it. I've tried my best not to be attached emotionally, but when you're in group chats, you're invested long in a company, you're reading all the RNSs, the videos, the tweets from people. It's hard not to get caught up with it. And I compare it to Argo Blockchain. It was a company that I was also invested in, and I just looked at it and went, fundamentally, things aren't right. Bitcoin's going in a bear market. It's going to be a long bear market. We've only come out of the bear market. Argo wasn't going to make it, and while it technically has still made it, and you can see here, it's actually it's the highest on my watch list. It's the biggest gainer of the day, sitting here at what, 19, nearly 20% up, because Bitcoin is obviously recovered remarkably well, which is what I said we were going to talk about 5 minutes ago. Let's have a look at Bitcoin then. We can see it's sitting at about 64,000. Buy symbols come in on the day chart, which is fantastic, and it's like trying to break up and above. And if we turn off the Bollinger Bands just to tidy this up a bit, we can see Bitcoin has been back in since the 18th of October 23, which just so happened to be my birthday. It has been in a bull market on the day chart, so it's been bullish. It's went down, it tested the 200-day moving average, and it just went above, went massively oversold, and understandably it's starting to push here. So this is what I'm looking for. This is why I've been buying, putting it in the Discord, been buying these dips, enjoying these dips. I did sell a bit of my profit, thinking we may have got rejected again, but it looks to be pushing. Another green day, we should be back at the races on Bitcoin. The RSI shows plenty of room still to the upside, but this MACD, just like GameStop, is crossed over. And usually when it crosses over, here, pretty much everywhere, if you look at it, when it crosses over here, we usually see substantial upside. So I'm hoping, praying, crossing all the fingers, that Bitcoin, is this the run now to the 100,000? I've said it for the last I've been saying it for a long while actually. I think we'll see $100,000 this side of Christmas. So we're 5 months away till the end of the year, just over. Plenty of time left. Whether or not this is it now off, or we maybe dip again and retest and then go, unsure. But I definitely think Bitcoin is very close to popping, which is a welcomed, very much welcomed, if I'm honest, considering how Prem has went. But I think Bitcoin is golden, a golden opportunity for a lot of people. And even if we just look at the potential upside here, just to even get back to the previous highs, you're looking at a 20% bounce to 74,000, and if we strip it right back, we do know that these levels sort of above here have been difficult to break. So that's the key area for me. I've been swing trading it for a long time, and I enjoy it, and I'm going to continue doing that. It's high risk, high reward, as always. No guarantees with crypto, but I think if you're looking at crypto, there's plenty of risk reward ratio that's very good with Bitcoin. So we're 1 minute away from the open. Excited, pumped for the open here. Let's see what happens. Let's have a look. Well, this will change after about 15 minutes. So this is a delay. We'll get a look at the S&P heat map when it properly updates. And we'll refresh Market Watch just to see the USA. Not a great day across Europe anyway. Wonder will that have a negative impact on the open here? We'll see. Bit of a dip already in the pre-markets. Let's get a look at GameStop. Any ticker symbols you want me to have on the radar, please, sure. I will I'll add them and we'll have a look at them. Not a problem. I do have a position in AMC, not a huge position, but again, a bit like GameStop, it's been going well. With a buy symbol, we're trying to break the 200-day moving average. It's on it. It's green. It looks like we're going to break it, so we need to close above this to get the confirmation. The Bollinger Bands, just like GameStop, very tight. And when they were tight like this before, we got a pop. It feels like we're ready for the next leg up. Fingers crossed, no guarantees, high risk, plenty of manipulation, short sellers, all of that. But it does look to be potential. We can see here, even with this volume, that there's plenty of people been buying these dips, buying this consolidation period that's been going on since, 20th of May. So better part of, almost 2 months of going sort of sideways. But it does look strong. And again, we've got plenty of movement in the RSI to come. And we have had this crossover and it has been going, and I like this bit of volume coming in on it as well. So AMC does look like it could be pushing on. Fingers crossed for that. We have the market open. Let's have a look at how things are performing. What am I? Anyone got any Forex trades? It's been a while since I've done an actual Forex trade. Wouldn't mind getting back into the Forex here. See, is there any significant volume gainers today worth looking at? Silo Pharma, what a day it's having. Anyone in Silo Pharma? Don't know what's made that pop, but that looks like a great day. 112% up currently. Wow, it's a big gain for anybody in the Silo Pharma. Let's have a look at Tesla. So I have a substantial position in Tesla, for you know that. Been in and out of Tesla, but mostly in Tesla for the last sort of 4 odd years. Big believer in the company, big believer in what it does, but I enjoy swing trading. So I've been taking profits. Me and a couple of guys in the Discord took some profits there recently. I rebought in at those profits, sold at 260 on this dip. Got lucky with, what was the news? It was a delay in the Robo event. We sunk it, so we got lucky, rebought back in, and then we've been riding it back up, and it's been a nice healthy rise on that. But the charts maybe saying there's a wee bit of a cool off, and that was part of the reason why we did sell some and took some profits, because this was a very nice rise. You know, there was a 42%, 50% up on our position that we opened. And again, if you look at these Bollinger Bands, you look at the RSI, it kind of said this was coming, and it also kind of said this is where you should take some profits. So took profits, got lucky with that, didn't time it too badly. Got in sort of $25 less than what we sold at, which was lovely. And now we've got a buy symbol coming on the day chart, looks strong. On the weekly, tells you a bit of a different story. It's trying to break above the 200-day moving average. It's been quite a while since we're above the 200-day moving average. You're going back to December. So it's significant, very significant, if I'm honest. The last time we really got above this year was way back in January 20 on the weekly chart, this is. And look at that run it went on when it broke out and above. You know, I'm not saying you're going to get those gains, you're definitely not, but usually when it breaks above the weekly chart, you'll get a substantial enough rise. This was an interesting time for the market at the time, but now it looks like we're going to go back above that. So fingers crossed on the weekly, we get this week keeps pushing on green. Get above that, that will be a good sign. And we've still got room, in my opinion, on the RSI, and the MACD still showing plenty of room for it to run, and there's plenty of volume. Tesla it's just a great stock. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Tesla. They just associate it with cars. There's a lot more with Tesla than just cars, and I think that's the big misconception. So yeah, we'll keep a close eye on that today, but it's opening quite strong. There's your Silo already selling off, guys. Never buy stocks on the open. I've made that mistake many a time. Years ago, used to always look at the risers. Do you remember 2020 when everything just went up? They were the good days. No matter what you did, everything went to gold. But those days are kind of gone. These things open up with huge volume, huge pump, and usually it sells off. Because what was the one that we were in yesterday? The Donald Trump. How's that doing today, actually? What was the ticker symbol for that? DJ. It was Trump Consortium, Trump Media. DJT. Yeah, another 7% sell on that. So that's sinking like a stone. Let's have a look at the R chart on that. You can kind of tell the story. Market opened and then it just sold off, and it's continued to sell off. But there's a buy symbol just came in the last hour, mind you, on Donald Trump Media. I'm nearly tempted to buy back in on that just to hold it. I think with all the craziness that's going on with this presidential election, and the more news and information that comes out, Trump getting back in, because everyone just thinks that Trump's going to be able to get the markets to the way it was in 2020. That won't be the case. It's impossible to be the case. However, in my opinion, it will be a positive thing for the markets. I think a lot of people will get bullish on it. Whether or not it's buy the rumor, sell the story. Once he gets in, the market maybe sells off. But I fancy the markets to do well up until the presidential election for that reason. I think he's going to get in. And this isn't a political channel. I don't want to talk about any political news, but my feelings are that it's going to be a positive thing. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Donald Trump Media, yeah, selling off again today. Not good. We got in and out, sold shortly after the open at a stop loss set. It went off. Tried to see if it would run, but it didn't. Thankfully in the UK now with Webull and TradingView, you can do, or Trading 212, sorry, you can do market, pre-market trading, which is great because we never used to have access to these types of things, but now we do. Okay, look at this. We can see for nearly 5%. It's trying. Let's get it down to the 1 minute chart. See what's going on here. Buy symbols everywhere. It looks strong. It looks to be breaking up here. Let's strip it down even to a 5 minute chart. Can GME push? That is what we want. We want it to push. I've been in it since these big pumps, since the big volumes come back, since Roaring Kitties come back, the good times have come back. I am most certainly not going to miss out on this opportunity that I feel is coming. Let's see if we look at the day chart. We can kind of see some of these lines, wedges. This one's not accurately drew. Why is it not? I must have moved it. Let's see. It just feels like a breakout is coming. There's also a bit of divergence on this as well, which is interesting. We need the volume. Just need a bit more volume to start creeping in on this, and this will start going. We're very close, guys. Can it break? Love to know your thoughts. The weekly chart is what we're looking at as well. Really want to get above this. If we can get above the weekly chart, I mean, look at the last time. And again, you can't compare our previous performance, but if you look at this, when we got above on GameStop on the weekly, it went bananas. We haven't got above it. People may say these were above, but they weren't a proper close above. We want a candlestick above the 200-day moving average on the weekly. It's good night. It's going to pop, baby. Very much so. So, yeah. What's the other stocks that are performing well? We've got Shopify up 6, almost 7%. Again, this is on the weekly. Let's have a look at the day charts. So what I'm going to start looking for this week, guys, is trades that are on a good setup. So we'll have a look down here. We'll have a look at some trades that look good. Wouldn't touch Argo blockchain with a barge pole. Roku, media streaming. Nah, I think there's enough in this market now to start looking at stocks that are above the 200-day moving average. Small caps will start reversing. They've been in a serious bear market for about 18 months. It's only a matter of time before the small caps really start gaining some volume. I feel like the markets are good to get back into. We've took a long period of sort of 9 months there of not really covering too much on the channel. We're going to get back into it in a big way. It was just negative. All the news, all the videos, everything was just so bearish. But things are really starting to come around. It's a good day for the banks. Seen some earnings come out. Good days for the banks. Bank of America keeps pushing. And that's been a lovely trade for anyone that's been in the Bank of America. It's been just an upwards trend, and it looks like there's plenty of room there. Hertz still going. God almighty, well, barely going. God almighty. Was anyone ever in the Hertz pump way back when? It was probably this pump here. It was back in July 21. Wow. 3 years ago. I was in that. At the time. Artel Africa, some of these stocks, God almighty. This watch list was made probably about 2 years ago. We'll need to update it. Hims and hers. I'm in on Hims. Unfortunately, my stop loss went off and sold me some, and I didn't get to re-enter my full position yet, which is disappointing, but it's been pumping hard. Loving that. I'm up about 40% on Hims. It's been a fantastic gain stock, and it's doing great things with Ozempic, which is the weight loss pill. So those that don't know, that's a fundamentally huge catalyst for Hims. So that's been a nice hold. Teladoc, on the other hand, was a stock that I am still got a long position in. Just been horrible. So yeah, the importance of swing trading, because if you buy stocks fundamentally, they're very much open to a lot of manipulation. There's no doubt about that. Virgin Galactic, Christ, fuck. I haven't seen the Virgin stock chart in a long while. What is going on? Why is this chart so fucked up? Jesus Christ. Richard Branson must be shiting himself. His arse must be seriously raw on this space stream. We'll not look at that. Prem, we'll not look at that. Jesus, we'll look at that another day. Neo, let's have a look at Neo. Neo's just been horrible, hasn't it? It really has been horrible. I'm going to get rid of all these things. This is months and maybe even a year ago when we looked at all this stuff. God knows what we were talking about then, but Jesus Christ, Neo. Fuck. There's some serious bag holders on Neo. 94% down. Lord have mercy. That is brutal, isn't it? And it's surprising, but again, Alibaba, I'll actually bring up Baba because I dare say the charts won't be a kick in the arse off a similar story. Yeah. Jesus, of course it is. Not as bad, but 80% down isn't fantastic from the highs. Now I know October 20 is a different time, but I just wouldn't touch Chinese stocks again. Just wouldn't. It's nothing to do with the companies even themselves. It's to do with America's view on the situation with China in terms of security and all that. It's just too volatile. They'll always push that down. You're never going to see a Chinese stock a part of the Magnificent Seven or the top companies in America. It's just never going to happen. And that's just the way it is. So I just keep an eye on it, maybe swing trade it. Neo definitely has potential, no doubt. But no, not one for me. Look at some of the food stocks. I mean, these ones were the dream, the future, plant-based, Beyond Meat, which has great deals with KFCs and McDonald's and produces all the burgers. And in my opinion, I did a veggie challenge for about a month and bought all different types of products. And Beyond Meat does do, in my opinion, the better plant-based food. But that whole bubble is burst and it's gone, that's for sure. Airbnb's recovered really well. Again, it suffered the big losses, but it's recovered really well. But then, is it any wonder? It's a great business model, does really well, and we are obviously in peak season of the summer, so naturally that would push on. Let's have a look at the day chart though, because we can see here, it looks like we're testing this 200-day moving average. We really are testing it. That could be one to be worth watching for a reversal. What's the MACD saying? RSI? Not yet. Skills, God almighty, some pumping on skills as well over the years. It's also equally absolutely horrible. Jesus Christ. Wow. So many of the pumps from back in the day are just raw. Really, really raw. Let's see what people are saying. Do you follow CPX and GDR? Both have loads of good news. CPX, let's have a look. Not even heard of it. Below the 200, not interested. I'm not interested in any trades below the 200 anymore. There's just no need. There's no need for the risk. But this is GDR. Okay. Massively pumped at the moment. What's it saying on the weekly? Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't look too bad. Plenty of volume, plenty of people buying. Million miles away from the 200-day moving average, but this Bollinger Band is getting pretty squeaky tight. Got pretty squeaky tight back here, and it did a good pop. Got squeaky tight here, and did. What type of pop was that? Fuck. You take that. Okay. I know I just said it's below the 200, so I'm probably not going to open a position. But that's interesting. That's pretty spicy. That could be a good one if you're involved in it and you like it. I would wait maybe for a cool off though. It does look like it's due a bit of a sell off. Facebook Dream, Meta Platforms. What a dream that has been. Bought at $98. Wasn't fearful at all. And it has had one hell of a rise. Unfortunately, my swing trade ended way too soon. But I had about a $93 position. So I didn't catch the absolute lows. You're never going to catch the absolute lows, but good God, it's pumped really hard. Really hard. Incredible, isn't it? Like, you know, you think about high risk plays, but then you look at companies like Facebook, safe as houses, plenty of money in the balance sheet, great revenue driven company. Yes, the whole Meta thing's maybe not worked out to what they had hoped. A lot of money being spent on it. I get all that, and the ongoing issues with privacy settings and all that with Facebook. But to be able to pick up a stock in October 22, as big of a market cap and as big of a company, and buy it at 88 and watch it 5x your money. I mean, look at that. It's floating around $500. That is outstanding gains. AMD, let's have a look. I actually got a position in AMD. Me and D are in AMD. We bought in, didn't we? Got the arse gape. No, we didn't. We bought in. I bought in actually slightly at the rise. I think my average is about 180, so I'm probably slightly down on that today. On the day chart, yeah. Selling off, but nothing for panic. I mean, I did buy knowing that I would have to. This was in play, so I did know that probably going to get a cool off. I wouldn't mind doubling down on that position, but let's just see what way this is going to plan out, because that needs to settle a bit. The MACD is dipping a bit. We'll have a look at Nvidia in a moment. Nvidia looks to be up 0.05, pretty much flat for the day. But yeah, that's interesting. A lot of people buying as well. Decent bit of volume in and around this level, understandably, because this is sold off from the heights here. So what people were taking advantage of the sort of the 30% discount, loading up all around these levels. And if anyone did do that, roughly looking at it about, pretty good swing, 20%. Testing this 200-day moving average several times. What's that? 1, 2, 3 attempts. I've fallen below, but it's very unlikely that that's going to fall below, in my opinion. Very unlikely. It's in the right sector, it's in the right time, it's in the right boom period. Trump's coming down the road. Even excluding that it's Trump, presidential elections usually are positive for the stock market. So there's plenty of sites, and if you even look at a bit closer, the UK had an election and the markets reacted pretty positively to the change in leadership there. So yeah, history would say we're probably going to be on a decent run here until the election, which is in November, right? Jesus Christ, what? Like an AI election? What the hell did I type there? What date then? November 5th, yeah. So November. So we're not a million miles away from that. So the next 4 months should be pretty good, pretty spicy, I would have thought. AMD. Let me just check my position on that. My account's looking healthy with GameStop, guys. It's pumping. It's pumping. 3.5%. Nice. Very nice. Tesla's went red, down 0.5% on the Tesla Dream now. But let's have a look at, eToro is where my AMD position is. Let's have a look. Okay, HIMS, lovely. Over 35% now up on that. That's nice. Bitcoin pushing, nice. Where is my Shiba's having a good day too? Where is my AMD? Oh, there it is. Sorry. Okay, so down 2.5% now on AMD. My average price is 181. And we see that 1 day ago, price increased to 210 by an analyst, which means fuck all. I'm going to buy AMD now, I think. I'm going to take a go. Let's have a look at this. Let's have a look. So I've touched it on the 45 minutes. It's you could maybe wait for a bit longer. Obviously, a sell symbol's come on here. We have fell below on the 30-day or 30-minute chart, but you take that with a pinch of salt. Don't know how much. Like, will it sell off? Like, this is. I'm gonna wait. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wait for a wee bit lower. I'm gonna wait for about this price, sort of the top of this channel here. 171. We'll add an alert there to remind me. I think maybe around 170 I'll double down or buy more of the position. We'll see what happens there. Let's have a look at Nvidia. Nvidia dream. That's not Nvidia. Sell symbols come on. I mean, what like anyone that's been in Nvidia long. I had an Nvidia once upon a time and sold, but what a long hold you could have had on that over the last year alone. Like, anybody still in Nvidia, that's been some ride. It's hard to know when the Nvidia bubble will burst. I mean, it's had a crazy run, but when you look at the likes of Tesla, Elon Musk trying to make his own chips, couldn't make his own chips, gave up, and then went back to Nvidia and said, yeah, we'll buy your chips. That to me just shows you how much of the market they have wrapped up. So their valuation really could be sky the limit. We'll keep an eye on AMD. I'll actually keep that chart open. What have I got? How's Bitcoin doing? Why is that chart? What's that? Bitcoin USD. Bitcoin, I think it's time, guys. I think Bitcoin's going to do it. Let's have a look at GameStop because it is interesting. It's pushing. It is trying to. So we've had the sell off here. Yeah, it's selling off, but people are trying to buy. Wow, look at that volume there. A lot of people buying at that level. See, that's a strong level. That's like a breakout kind of level for people. I'm not quite there yet on terms of the breakout. I still think we need to break a bit more. But a green day today and a green day tomorrow, or sideways, and then we get the confirmation that this is breaking out. GameStop's going to push. I'm so certain of it. I just feel like it's coming. And I was so certain of it. I've been so bullish in the Discord about it. I'm just so certain that this isn't it. This isn't it. There's more to come. A lot more to come. But we'll not count the eggs before the hatch. Let's see. Matterport. The Matterport dream. Lovely gains. Caught this whole ride here. Magical. But that's a buyout now, so there's no point really looking at that anymore. PayPal. Brutal. I mean, this is PayPal, guys. Some of the biggest companies in the world. And you find yourself down 82%. So anyone that's picked a bad winner and took losses, never be too worried. Never feel too hard on yourself. Some of the best companies in the world have suffered massive losses. Look at these growth companies. I was in SoFi all this period, all about it. Back then, Things were different though. Hey, Buffett, Berkshire, what a man, what a legend. If you're ever looking for a safe play, somewhere just to put your money and not really worry about it, Berkshire has always been good value for that. Now, what would Big Buffett's passing mean? Not to be thinking about that, but let's be honest, he's like 109, so his day's probably coming. He lost Big Charlie there, heartbreaking. But what a company, what a legend. Nike, brutal. When do you look at Nike as maybe a dividend play? When does Nike start to become attractive? What I find with all these consumer products now is that so many people are doing TikTok and creating their own brands and selling. And if you even look at the likes of Logan Paul and his Prime drink, you know, biggest selling drink going. That's just a man that created a brand and selling it. Close to the home, Carl Frampton and his whiskey. People just are making their own brands, making their own products, and people like to buy stuff from people that they are influenced by. You know, oh, I love this guy. I want to buy his, his underwear or whatever it may be. So I just wonder, is that part of why you're seeing a lot of the big staples that are clothing brands dip? There's a lot of the market share that they're having to forfeit up to these independent brand owners. But Nike, lovely dividend, 1% or something. Dividend massively down. Like, what are you down to? March 20, even if you go back to February 18 prices, like that just doesn't marry up to me. It just doesn't make sense. Surely due a reversal. What is the actual chart looking at? Is this a swing trade? Are we looking at this? We're below the 200, so I don't like that. But let's see. The Bollinger Band's not tight. We are massively oversold. RSI, what's the back saying? Not a crossing over yet. No. Wouldn't be looking at Nike for a swing trade yet. Netflix. The Netflix. Having a green day. Wouldn't say it's a swing trade opportunity yet, but you know what it is. What's that? No, not yet. Apple. The stock that just keeps on giving. I still think Apple is a big indicator if you're ever going to a stock market crash, but the stock market crash is a good bit off yet. We did have the quote unquote crash. It did come this period here, but it just wasn't deep enough for me. Applied Materials. What's happened to Gooey Run? Caterpillar. Jesus, the Caterpillar dream. Fuck me. Caterpillar's doing well. The hell have they been getting their finger into? War? They're war, aren't they? So yeah, I guess all the war stocks are doing alright. Coke. Buffett staple. Just a good dividend play. Slow and steady. No thrills with the Coke dream. You wouldn't look at that for a swing trade. Waste of time. Visa. What's going on here? Okay. Liking that. Look at this MACD. Look at the MACD, guys. Visa. It's got to be on the watch list, right? With this. I think with that, you've got to look at it. You've got to be looking at it. Maybe not. Looks a better run. Yeah, I'm going to add this. So what I do here is crossing, set it up. So what I'm going to do is buy single. So once per bar close. Crossing. SMA, we'll go with a 180. So what this is going to do, guys, for those that don't know, this is 180-day moving average. Once it crosses and closes per close, so a bar close, so make sure you're always doing the bar close. If you don't do the bar close, what you'll find is every little moment it goes above, you get notified, and it's a fucking pain in the arse. So bar close, by the end of the day, if it's closed above the 180-day moving average, TradingView is going to say, guys, this has happened, take a look at it. So that's what I want. I want to look at that above the 180-day moving average. I would imagine if we do go above the 180-day moving average, this MACD you see here will have crossed over properly, and this could be a great swing trade. Let's have a look at what you could be looking at. Now, it's had a great run. Yeah, so we're virtually at all-time highs on the Visa Dream. interest rates, all that. Not unlike the banks, it's going to do well in this environment with high interest rates. So that could be a great one in terms of it's cooled off, it's settled, it breaks above. No reason why you couldn't test all previous highs. Get 7% maybe on it, 5%. You know, the average investor gets 10% a year. So if you're able to jump in on that for a couple of weeks and get 5-7%, you take it. You take it. Walmart. Don't even want to talk about it. Boring. Johnson & Johnson. Jesus. Another staple. Solid. But fuck me. Raw. Ford. So the used car market's doing well. The car market's doing well. Sorry, not the used car market. The car market is doing really well. Surprisingly, EV sales are down, but the actual car market's doing well. So not surprising with that data coming out that you're seeing Ford push. I'm not going to go near Ford with being in Tesla. I'm not going to go near Ford. Absolutely fucking not. Like, but yeah, cool, decently push there. Yeah, looks like it's going to oversell. We can go near it. American company, no, I'm not going to talk about them. MasterCard. Oh, okay. MasterCard, bit like what we just witnessed there with Visa. Look at the MACD, about to cross over, it would seem. We're waiting for that confirmation on that to happen. But yeah, look at this. We can get above the 200-day moving average. Plenty of movement in the RSI. And the Bollinger Bands are saying, kind of saying what they've always said, just they're not squeezing that tight. They're fair enough value. Bit of decent volume coming in here as well at these levels. Look at all this. So people are liking this. People are buying into this. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click. I'm going to go add alert. I'm going to go to my buy whole sell indicator. But look, the buy whole sell indicator, that's part of my trading course you can sign up to. But if you don't have that, just change this to an average or moving average or whatever your setting is. It can be based on anything, but these are based on the indicators that I have switched on here. So if you go over to these indicators and turn on a moving average, the moving average will appear here, and then you can tell it to notify you. But for me, buy whole sell symbol is on. Buy symbol. I'm gonna go crossing. Once per bar close. Oh, not crossing actually. Do. Moving up. No, crossing. Yeah, I'll go crossing. Once per bar close. Great. Keep an eye on that one then. That could be a very good swing trade because it looks like it's got a bit more room to the upside. Not saying it's going to go back to all-time highs, but in theory, if it breaks above, you've got to kind of look. Well, initially you'll be looking at this level, which would be 2%. But even around, even into the highs, you're looking at about 10% of a push there. Why not? If we're buying into that the market's going to push, and we'll look at the SPY and the Nasdaq in a moment here. But that's an interesting one. You can see the last time we kind of broke up above the on the day chart. This is what happened. We got a nice push of about 27% over from November to March. So 4 odd month hold, and all this done has gone up. Lovely jubbly. And if you were actually, we'll talk about that another day. Go EV. Oh Jesus, go EV. Remember that one? Fuck. And that's a weird one. Like, what is going on with Go EV? Because like I thought they had like all these crazy order books and all of this, but they have no money to make the thing. I just don't understand why anybody. I think Amazon placed all these orders with them, but Jesus, talk about on your arse. Let's see. Coinbase was having a good day. Not now. I just don't look at Coinbase. I don't look at any brokers anymore. Any blockchain, any of those things. I don't bother. Bitcoin, that's the one. I do have other coins. Like Ethereum. Well, maybe have a look at Ethereum here while we're chatting about it. But very similar to the Bitcoin chart, starting to look positive. But look at this, breaking above the 200-day moving average. So we only went below it. First time we went below it since October 23, and it popped So if we just compare that back to Bitcoin, do you see what I see? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You can see why people are getting excited about the bull run, because, you know, these things happened. This is Bitcoin the last time we broke above. We did dip it. We're looking to break above. Do you count that as a full? I would count this as a break. If this closes above, I would classify this as above, and we're actually down 2%. But Bitcoin's a weird one. It doesn't have the same trading hours because it's constantly going, so the refresh dates differently. But that's looking good. Give it another day. Get another green day. Maybe get to sort of 64. I think we're at the races on Bitcoin. Walt Disney Dream. Oh, Jesus. Mickey and the boys. Fuck. Oh, brutal. Disney. I absolutely love Disney. And Disney, God forgive me, but I put a lot of my kids' baptism money. My dad always said, don't know what to get you for Christmas or birthdays, and I just go, well, I'll buy some Bitcoin or Disney. They love Disney. It'll be a good story. They got the TV, and my kids now, my oldest is going to be 5 here. So 5 years ago, I bought Disney, and you can kind of tell the story here. So let's say it was about roughly August 2019. So August 2019. Now you're talking around these levels is when I bought Disney. And then I did a top up, I think, around these levels, because initially it sunk like a stone, so I felt bad. So I think the average is around about it's closer to 110. So we're at $97. Like, so yeah, that's been a lovely investment. It did push, things were looking good, and then it sunk off again. So not great on the Disney dream. I think the problem with Disney is, sorry, I'm a bit closer there. I think the problem is with Disney is that it's huge outlay for reinvestment into the parks. It needs a whole facelift, so they're spending billions upon billions. And I think people are getting a bit fed up with their films. It's like, can you come up with a new popular genre or a new film? They just keep going back to the well. I mean, those Marvel films are bait the fuck out. Although I can't wait to see the new Deadpool, and I think it's going to do great numbers for them. So it's going to be a big blockbuster this summer. So you should see that reflected in their earnings. But it's going back to the well, isn't it? You know, how many bloody sequels or remakes of the same films can you do? Like, honestly. So we'll keep an eye on Disney. I'm long term in it, but my kids aren't going to get that back until they're 18. So she's another 13 years, and my son will have 16 years. So I'm pretty confident that Disney is going to be a lot better than $97 come 13 years time, unless I don't know, it goes bust. Wouldn't be surprised. How is the dollar doing here? We better look at it. Nice. Doing okay. Okay, let's look at the SPY. Let's look at some indices here. Just keeps going up and up and up and away. Now, charts would suggest that there is probably a pullback coming. I don't think it's going to come quite yet, but I do think it's going to come. It can't continually go up forever, guys, unfortunately. But I don't think it's going to come for another couple of weeks, in my opinion. And what that will do to the other caps, I'm not entirely sure, because if we look at the NASDAQ, where is it? NASDAQ 100. It's the exact same. Massively overbought, would say probably due a pullback. But don't forget, we've been massively overbought realistically since May. So 2 months we've been floating around this. So it's going to come, but it lasts for a long time. November right through to March 24. So you don't want to sell initially because you're like, oh, it's oversold, time to sell it. No. That's not how you trade the indices, in my opinion. You have to look for a lot more than just an RSI move or a MACD move. You almost need to look at sort of support and resistance levels, or just even your trusted old 200-day moving average. Because if we look at the 200-day moving average, let me take off the Bollinger Bands, tidy us up a bit here. Look at the 200. This is the 200-day. Well, it's the 180, but 200-day. The last time we fell below that was 2022. So this was the quote unquote the bear market that came, and it was a bear market. It was bearish. It was bearish for a year, so it was a lot of pain there on the Nasdaq, but it's recovered remarkably well. Once we broke above, we have seen a lovely 70% rise. So it's done really, really well. We did test it here, and all we did was push off. So in my opinion, probably some sort of sell off. Look, you can already see on the day chart here, we've got a sell symbol coming in. It is down 0.5. Don't bear in mind the market opened green. So is this maybe the cool off to come here? Would it retrace down to the 200-day moving average? Given that the 200-day moving average is probably going to go something like this, you wouldn't be surprised if the Nasdaq did pull back sort of 8% over the course of a week or two, bounces off and pushes on. News can come out at any given day, but I would be very surprised if we went into a bear market and real pain came. Just don't think it's going to come because, again, of the presidential election. AMD really sinking like a stone here, so I'm glad we didn't buy. Waiting for that 170 to buy. Who's with me on the AMD dream? We're waiting for 170. We're getting closer. We'll see. Keep an eye on that. Dollar General. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Pepsi. Coke was doing shit. Pepsi's doing shit. You can thank Logan Paul for all that. JP Morgan and Chase. Yeah, the banks are going to continually doing well. That's a given. That's a given. A decent pullback on the banks would be a good dip to buy. GM. Doing really well. I'll tell you what, American made. It's going to do well. Dollar Tree, exact same scenario. Made some great money on Dollar Tree previously, long time ago, but you wouldn't touch those things right now. It's not the time for those types of plays. Plug. I remember all the hopes and dreams on Plug, like, once upon a time as well. Hydrogen's the future. Jesus Christ. Brutal. Really is brutal, isn't it? It's not too bad though. Let's see. Yums. This is your KFC plays. I think they have Pizza Hut. Food plays. All of that. Surprisingly down quite a bit. I wonder what's going on here. We're below the 200-day moving average, so I wouldn't be looking at it, but I was going to say it looks like it would be a reverse. Look at this. The MACD nearly crossing over. Not yet. Yums though. You know what it is. I'll set away alert on that. Again, going in, we're hitting crossing. My buy wholesale indicator once per bar close, buy signal. I'll see it's not even a buy single yet, so you're waiting on that, but I'm going to go crossing. Once per bar close, the SMA 180. Thank you very much indeed. We'll see if that comes. Kodal Dream. We've made our way to Kodal. Very much in this consolidation stage. Cannot break above this support level for love or money. But doing well. Good market cap. Ticks along nicely. If you look really far back on Kodal, you can kind of see it tends to do these cycles. Pumps. Long cycles, pumps, long cycles, pumps. Okay, folds, sold off, bad news, long cycles. It just takes a while to get going. Pretty flat at the moment. Significant news can come out at any time with Kodal. Again, you can't time news, so it's one of those ones. News could come out, but don't foresee it doing too much in the short term unless we get news. The Glencore dream, Jesus Christ, so many dreams, so many shattered dreams. Okay. The Russell is worth looking at because this is going to be your small caps. And this was an interesting one because we're talking about that reversal. We're talking about the bear market. We're talking about small caps and how beaten down they are. So you're looking at the Russell to be... Oh, sorry, that was on the 2-hour chart. You're looking at the Russell for the rebound. So it's not at all-time highs, obviously. It sold off massively here. The rebound in 2020, as everyone expected, like everyone witnessed, happened. Then the pain came. All the small caps, all the freaking heartache, and it's just done nothing. It's done nothing for a long time. But these companies are starting to get volume. Liquidity is starting to come into the smaller caps. People are starting to think there's value here, and there is value. One hell of a bear market, a really, really long bear market on these caps, and we're in on this. Looks to be getting to the point where it could be overbought, but just like what we looked at with the Nasdaq and SPY, there's no reason why we couldn't sit at these levels for a long time, strip it back. These periods of time, for example, how long did this last? We got into this overbought territory for a year. So who's to say that we don't get up to this RSI and this is the start of it? You know what it is? Let me just have a look here. I'm going to open up a position in the Russell. I should have probably done it a while ago, but I like that. I like what I'm seeing on the Russell. I'll nibble at these prices. Not going to go AM Beale style, but I'll have a good nibble here. D, what are you saying? No more African miners? People could read that a different way. But yeah, you mean, especially because you spelt it miners as in young people, no African. I know what you're saying. You're saying the people that mine the ground. Just want to clarify that for people in case people join the Discord or the group here and they're thinking, fuck, what's this channel all about? Yeah, no more African miners. I'm still going to stay in Kodal, but I think my appetite for those risks are dead. 2020 was a different time when we identified these. There wasn't a lot of value out there. There is so much. I just went through the whole list there. There's so many great companies. PayPal jumps to mind. What's the other one? The ones we set the alerts on, they all jump to mind. There's so much value out there. These things turn around. They will push. And they're solid companies. Disney below $100. I mean, you're never going to do bad holding Disney for a long hold below $100. So yeah, the Russell. Let's get it opened. Let's get a trade opened on the Russell. And then I might do a day trade on. I'll pick something to do a day trade on for the laugh. Okay, let's see. Russell. Okay, so eToro's telling me 2231's the current price for the Russell, so gonna just set it a bit lower. Not gonna go leveraged or do anything mental. I'm gonna open a $200 trade. Oh no, sorry, $1,000 trade. It's the lowest I can go. See, eToro changed everything. It's actually bad what they do. If you want to do a lower trade, you have to take out leverage. But you know what it is? A two times leverage position, $500 amount I can put on it, I think. Yeah. Okay. We'll go $500. Do I want to do $500? What's it saying on the day chart? You know what it is? I do fancy it though. I was going to say wait for a pullback, but him's flying, guys. Up 3.5% now. 30% up on that. That's nice. That's very nice. Welcomed. Very welcomed. I'm going to think about the Russell. Going to have a think about the Russell. I'll set an alert just there. So if it pushes below that, it'll come back to me. I'll just have a little long think about it. There's the Nasdaq sell symbols just went off. So a bit of a reversal. Oh, with an alert going off. What's happened? Oh, it's the Russell. Yeah, probably shouldn't have set that. Okay, we'll set that a bit higher. Okay, that's interesting. Fucking Russell. That's the Russell again. Yeah. Okay. Delete alert. Yeah, don't want to know about it. Add alert. Once per close. Okay. Notify me later, please. Is that the Russell again? What's going on, mate? What are you telling me? Fuck off. Maybe I should just buy this Russell. Maybe that's a sign, is it? The Russell dream. Hang on. I kind of want to open a position, but I don't really want to do a grand on it. Because it's not like you've caught the sweet as a nut. Oh, the tracker dreams on trading 212. Fuck, I don't want to go near them. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll open up a 300 quid position here just straight away on the Russell. I might as well. For the laugh. Okay, Russell trade is opened. We'll see where that goes. Hopefully upwards, please. Okay. So anybody who's in the chat? Who have we got? Let's see. There's 5 of us. 5. Thank you so much. These early streams are going to be tough. You're going to be in the trenches. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very, very tough to grow it, but we're going to do it. Anybody want me to look at any individual stocks? Let me know. We'll have a look at the heat map now. It's well updated. Okay, so there's the heat map. So we can see here what sectors are doing well. The tech stocks, understandably, are starting to pull back. You're seeing that. Look at the Google, your Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD. They're all pulling back, but they've all had one hell of a good run. So that's understandable. What's pushing it up today then is your healthcare. The banks are doing reasonably well, but definitely healthcare seems to be the main drivers. And what's that? A bit of farming, heavy industrials, sort of businesses, sort of stocks seem to be the driver today in the market, which is interesting. So another screener thing you can do is the screener. This is all part of the course. If you need more details on all this, it's all stuff we kind of go through. But so for those who don't know, FinViz, fundamental, you can choose that. You can choose technical, which is what we're going to look at now. So what you can do here, this will be all these companies, all through in. You can see here, 480 list, hell of a lot. Filter, search, any way you want. So you can look at, maybe you're interested in swing trading. You might want to look at companies that have a lot of volume. You can see here some of the big, there's Acelo, obviously huge volume coming in on that today with its pump. 79%, I think when we looked at it was 120. So that's, anyone that's jumped in on that on the open has taken one hell of a pounding. The volume here, plenty of volume on Tesla, which is having a bad day. Unfortunately, down 2.4%. So we're back down to, that's really sold off. Let's have a look at Tesla, because I'm pretty sure that was green on the open, wasn't it? Yeah, 150, 250, sorry. So yeah, it's selling off. Let's see. Let's have a look at what's happened the last 3 minutes. Jesus. That seems to be the way the markets went, though. I think that seems to be the way it's went. Everything is just really pulled off. Eon's having a good day. Well, it was having a good day when the volume gainers, I see. So you can search for different things on TradingView as well. But I would prefer to use the screener. So going back to this, 200-day simple moving average. So here you can pick what you want. So when we're talking about the 200-day moving average, we're talking about bear markets, we're talking about bull markets. Bearish, if you want to go short, you will look at the 200-day moving average below. Anything below that's just fell below could be an indication. You need to have a look at the charts, and we'll do a few examples here. Why not? But if you look at these things, yo, Rags, what's happening? Rags is in the house. Good man. Thanks for joining, Rags, as always. You're one of 5 other people to be watching live with us. So let's have a look. We were just going to pick up some stocks that are above the 200-day moving average, that have just went above the 200-day moving average, to try and identify if there is good swing trade opportunities. So you can pick 210% above. No, I just want to go, just tell me what is above the 200-day moving average, okay? So that would be, oh, there's Davy Beckham. Always welcomed. A bit of Davy Beckham. But no, not now. Thank you, Davy. That's for later. Above the 200-day moving average. We'll do 10% just to get us a bit more accurate, okay? So again, where am I best looking at? Okay. So again, you can look at all these things. You can actually put in all the details, the RSIs and whatever else. So you don't want to be banning when it's massively overbought. So these are the areas, 70, 80. These are high levels, massively overbought. Now you might want to look at those levels if you're on a short squeeze. There's a whole different setup. And again, I have all my presets, which I just realized I have. So let me log in. You know I'm gonna get it down. Screener. Okay, so here's all my presets. These are all, again, all part of the short squeeze plays. This is all part of the course. These are your short plug bars there. Interesting. That is interesting. Huh. Okay. Let's have a look at plug. Not that I need another fucking short squeeze play, like, but let's have a look. Huh. Yep. Let's keep a wee eye on plug. Let's just keep a wee eye on plug. Add. It helps to do short squeezes when you kind of know the company a bit, what it's about, you know. Okay, well, maybe come back. So I've set a good few of these up now. So what's that about? Maybe half a dozen alerts. So there could be some decent swing trades coming up. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on them. But let's have a look at our screener again here. Okay. That's our short squeeze one. We don't want to do the short squeeze. We've had enough fun with GME. Actually, let me just check how GME is doing. The market's obviously pulled back. Has GME been part of that? No, it's trying though. Look, this is the downturn that's come. So it actually pumped on quite a bit. Interesting. It tried up 3%, selling off a bit, but yeah, GME still looks pretty damn good, to be honest. Still, all of this still to play out, hopefully. Okay, so that's the Russell. Back to the screener. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Short squeeze. So we do have DMV's big made up thing. That's for the course members only. But we have swing and day trade, short trade, day trade after earnings. So let's have a look at a day trade, see what's going on. But a lot of the day trade ones you would look at pre-market. It's probably a bit late now. We're an hour into the markets. I'll probably leave these, but you can see here. So the CELO, this would have identified that as a potential buying opportunity. So you could have got in that on the pre-market. You would have got the hours bait off you. But when we looked at this earlier on, I think it was down to 70. So you could have nearly got a 20% swing on CELO. So these are high volume, swinging all around, crazy plays, but they're for day charting. So if we look at the likes of the CELO, it gives you all this chart information as well. But if we just go in here and manually look at it, just to show you if you're swing trading it, what way you do it. So this is on the 30-minute chart. No. When you're swing trading it, or day trading it, sorry, swing trading is different, day trading, you would look at maybe the 1-minute chart. Similar kind of thing. You're looking for patterns, you're looking for trends. You know, this was obviously a great one here. So huge ride up. But let's see, where would you be buying? So these are all on the 1-minute chart. There really hasn't been, and we're down below the 200-day moving average. There's nothing really here. But if you were able to scalp and you had a good broker, this buy symbol would have came in, you would have went up, you would have sold at the sell symbol, you would have picked up 0.3%. There's nothing really happened here. But then if you were to go short here on this short, and down to the buy symbol, you would have picked up 2%. And that's kind of the game. You just kind of try to get in at the right prices, and you know, one way up or down. But there's nothing really there that's massively jumped out. I mean, this would have been a good sell. So the sell symbol is just an indication, factors in all the different moving averages and produces a sell symbol. Oh, someone's phoning me here. I'll phone them back. So that would be one that you would look at potentially as a swing trade. Need to keep an eye on it though. Some gains on it though, really, wonder. Wow, unbelievable. Bit of a brutal day out there. Not a lot to cover, really. Everything's just kind of down. But here, successful enough. I've done a good hour and a half there. I've enjoyed that, getting back up in the speed. There's a good few that we've identified, and I'm going to keep a closer eye on some of these now. Sticking my toe back into the water here, and very much so. Looking to build on this and really start getting it into overdrive. We'll get better at the live streams, we'll get better at everything. Thanks you for, I think at one stage we had about 8 people. Thank you for tuning in when you did. Appreciate that. We'll keep an eye on all these charts, keep an eye on the Discord as well. One final look at Prem just to see what way it's looking. Still up on the day. No, it's GameStop. Jesus, I wish. Back into the red, but look, flat day. You take it after yesterday's craziness and the open this morning for sure. Keep a close eye on GameStop, and we'll go from there. But listen, thank you for everyone tuning in. We'll touch base again. We'll get better at these.